Welcome back, everybody, to the Detroit Local. We are on episode number 37. Holy smokes. It's actually, the way we broke it down, it's like season 3, episode 4, maybe? I don't know. What you'll have to do is go over to the website, thedetroitlocal.com/podcast, and you can see all of our past episodes. And while you're there, why don't you just take a little gander over at the shop and pick up a new t-shirt, possibly a crew neck, long sleeve shirt, hat, whatever. Uppercase T, as Doc Illingsworth likes to call them. You can also buy this that I'm wearing right now, the Detroit Christmas, What Up Doe Christmas crew neck. You can get that a couple places, which we'll get into. Today's episode, before we go too far, today's episode is brought to you by Bees Co-working Space inside of Eastern Market, located at 1533 Winder. It's the place to be. They've got lemonade and co-working space, and it's absolutely phenomenal. They're great people. Speaking of also where you can get this, please go visit another one of our sponsors, City Bird, beautiful, wonderful store and gift shop in Midtown Detroit, right across from like Third Man Records. You'll see it. It's a beautiful store. So anyway, producer Zach, how's your week been, bro? It is early in the week. Well, it's good to hear you. It's good to see you always. Thanks for everything as usual. You don't get enough love, so just want to make sure that I shout you out. Yeah, right. So now we were talking about Citybird. Joining me today is the co-founder of Citybird and Nest, Mr. Andy Linn. Andy, what's up, brother?
Hey there, Mike. It's nice to be here.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, thank you.
How was the drive in?
The drive in was long and arduous, but I got here
all the way from Woodbridge.
Yeah,
dude. The weather today was a bit of a shock, but whatever. It's Michigan, right?
Well, it's fine. We're used to it by now.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot actually, and I said, oh, maybe we'll get into this, but I'm just gonna get out of the way really quickly. Andy and I we kind of grew up together.
Yeah, that's true.
We used to work at a summer camp.
That's right.
In Alger, Michigan, in Skidway Lake.
Summer camp for gifted children.
Yeah, young and gifted, and it was, well, whatever. Yeah. It was a Boy Scout summer camp. I've been open about that in the past. It's a phenomenal program, but it's really good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break it down, pretty simple outline style. So I'm gonna learn a little bit about you and tell me where you come from and how you got to Citybird and what life has been like all along. So where do you come from originally?
So I grew up in the city of Detroit on the east side in the Barry subdivision.
Yeah.
It's right near Indian Village.
So you're a lifelong Detroiter.
I'm a lifelong, born and bred, hardcore Detroiter.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
I would never think about that, man.
Oh, baloney, man. I say you're not a Detroiter unless you like at least once a season say that's it. I'm out of here.
Once in a while you get frustrated, or when you travel, you're like, wow, that's a really cool thing about this other city. But
wow, public transportation.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal.
What a novelty.
Yeah.
I've never seriously thought about leaving though.
Yeah, me too, man. I love it here. It is what it is, So you grew up in the city. Where'd you go to like grade school and everything? Right around there?
Yeah. So early on, I went to the Waldorf school over in Indian Village, and then I was homeschooled after second grade all the way through high school.
Okay, sure. And then where'd you end up going to college?
I went to U of M for undergrad.
Go Blue.
Yeah, go Blue. Oh yeah. Then I went to Wayne State for grad school.
Okay. What'd you go to grad school for?
I studied urban planning.
Okay.
With a focus on economic development.
Okay. What does that mean?
That's about like spurring development, bringing job growth, bringing businesses, like attracting things to a core of a city.
Okay. And so is that where you got the idea for Citybird?
I think there's always been a kernel of that based on my background and interests. But I think studying urban planning is definitely what really planted it in my head as an idea.
That you could actually do it, eh?
That you could do it, that I wanted to see more activity. I wanted to see more walkability. I wanted to contribute to the vitality of the neighborhood. And sort of in a classic Detroit bootstrapping way, I was like, no one else is going to do it. I'll do it.
Yeah. If not me, who? If not now, when? Right? Yeah. Absolutely. So we just breezed right past one of the most fascinating things about you that I think is that you were like 2 or 3 years out of college. Or no, you were actually at Wayne State, I think.
I was at Wayne State.
And you ran for political office.
I did.
That is to me, I get envious of individuals who have the confidence and the know-how and the financial backing to be able to campaign and run for office, right?
That may be overly generous.
Okay.
But,
The people who decide to do a thing and then do it, I think,
Yes.
is what it ultimately is, you know?
Yeah.
So what did you run for?
so it was 2009. I think a lot of people in the city were buzzing about council by districts, and I thought that
Okay.
was a very important thing to move towards.
Sure.
And so I ran for the Charter Revision Commission.
What is the Charter Revision Commission?
Yeah, so every city in the country has a governing document, and
The charter.
yes, it's a city charter, and it kind of governs how we're set up, like how the council's composed, and who has what powers, and it guides. It's the guiding hand of the city government.
Okay.
So I ran for the Charter Revision Commission when I was about 25.
Holy cow.
And
were
I was
you,
in
were
grad
you the
school.
youngest in the field?
I was the youngest candidate that I knew of. There were about 68 candidates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
68. And what did you win?
I got close in the primary. I was the top 18 advanced to the general election, and I
Okay.
came in 19th
19 out of
68 or so.
holy cow.
Yeah.
And that was just a citywide vote,
Citywide
like
general
normal
election. Yeah, it was a primary election, I should say. Yeah, it was a
Okay.
citywide primary election.
Was that something that you'd always consider doing, was running for political office?
It wasn't like a long-term aspiration, but the idea of the Charter Revision Commission inspired me, and I thought it was like a attainable goal. I
What
thought I
better way
could-
to put your stamp or leave your mark
Mhm.
on a city
yeah.
than helping to rewrite the governing document that issues the powers?
It seemed like an amazing opportunity, and I thought that council by district was really important, and I wanted to be part of seeing that made it into the charter. And I also thought some of these new ideas that I had been learning about in planning school could inform a strong charter.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I remember you running and me telling my parents to make sure, like, we have to vote for Andy Linn. Like, this is the craziest thing. I know somebody, because we were like 24,
young,
25. And shoot, I don't even know if I was in the city at that point. I might have just been finishing up at Grand Valley. Go
Mhm.
Lakers. Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't a U of M guy, but whatever.
All the same. That's
Yeah,
great.
dude. So you run for office. Unfortunately, you get 19th place, which in any other competition, if you will, 19th generally isn't like something to toot your horn about. But in this case, out of 68, rewriting a government document,
Out of 68 as a 25-year-old, I wasn't.
I think that's pretty
I wasn't
cool.
disappointed with it, and I like to say that it's like the perfect point at which you want to lose. Like if you're gonna lose, you might as well be kind of close.
Yeah.
I got close to winning in the top 18 in the primary, and if I had just been number 18, I would have been a real long shot candidate in the general election and had to campaign and keep going.
Yeah.
So this way, it just sort of I had the experience. I learned a lot.
What did it say? Kissing hands and shaking babies?
Yeah, there was I did a lot of canvassing. I did a lot of walking streets,
Yeah.
and that was the best part of
They
it.
say that, I mean, that's the best way to do it. You have to be
I met so
boots
many
on the
people.
ground. Yeah.
There are people that I know today that I met while canvassing.
No kidding.
That it was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, and Detroit has so many neat little nooks and crannies of neighborhoods, and then the apartment buildings too. I
Yeah.
mean, you can probably win an election just by campaigning some of the apartment buildings.
I think you could.
I think people
if you were
do.
strategic-
Actually, is what I think happens.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it gave me a lot of appreciation for the Detroit voter and a lot more respect for the Detroit voter. They
Yeah,
were
well,
more engaged and interested.
Yeah,
than I thought.
absolutely. Well, I'm
Yeah.
proud to know you. And I was proud to know you then. So
That's
good work. You know. So you unfortunately you don't win, and you're in school for urban planning.
That's right.
For Master of Urban Planning at Wayne State University, phenomenal institution. And you start thinking that you want to improve the walkability, you want to improve the transportation, the access to different amenities in
Yeah.
and around the city, right?
That's right.
So is that how you start thinking, okay, how am I going to do that? Not on a government level, but how do I do that on a personal and
very,
business level?
Very practically speaking. Yeah, that's exactly right. And I was working at a small planning firm for my day job while going to grad school. And my sister and I founded Citybird as a side project.
Emily, right?
Emily.
Hi,
yeah.
Emily. You can say hi
Hi out there.
So you founded Citybird as a side project.
Yes.
What was the main project?
My planning job.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So I worked at the planning company for a couple years while Citybird was running.
Wow.
And
So-
Emily and I had this complicated, naive plan where, like, I would take a few days off a week and work at the store, and then trade out, and she'd take it. And we hired one employee for one day a week, to work Wednesdays, which was the one day we couldn't cover.
Well, thank goodness for that one person.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to be closed.
No, it can't be open.
Yeah, was it 2011?
It was 2009. for City
2009.
Bike.
So yeah, I mean, there's probably not a whole lot of walk-in traffic
No.
in 2009 in Midtown.
Well, it's
Or
the
Cass Corridor at
interesting
that
thing
point.
about like walking traffic is that it doesn't just magically appear. Like people need to have
It has to be a destination.
destinations between
Yeah.
things and need to be close enough together that it inspires people to decide to walk instead of drive.
So you decide, okay, I'm going to open up a gift shop, a Detroit gift shop.
Yeah, we wanted to create an environment where local makers could sell their goods, and we had already
Like the
had-
Rose Apothecary, eh?
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
in, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Detroit Rose.
Yeah.
those are great products.
Right on. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, we wanted to create a space where local makers could sell their goods and share them with customers. Today we sell about 200 different local lines.
Holy cow, what are some of them?
So many. Like you just mentioned, Detroit Rose, which is a great one. We have Phil Simpson's Smile brand, which is a
Philly
favorite.
Fresh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's great. What a nice, genuine, wonderful person.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a few different local card lines like Worthwhile Paper. And we have this new line
What else do
that
you
we just
got
brought
going
in
on at City Bird?
We're doing a new partnership with the Detroit Local.
Are you? Tell me about
yeah.
that.
So let me just grab this out of this grab bag here.
Yeah, you brought a whole grab bag of different stuff that you're selling. I'd love to see. And one of the reasons I wanted to have you on now was, it was just Small Business Saturday,
It
right?
was. Yeah.
It's Cyber Monday. You are in the middle of trying to run a gift shop business that relies on some type of foot traffic
Yeah.
coming in and out. Not really a huge web presence prior to COVID,
That's right.
but I wanted to have you on now. So people, if you're looking for gifts, Detroit themed gifts, all kinds of stuff, go to City Bird. I mean, check it out. Right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Dude, like I said, half my wardrobe right now is from your store. So
I really
the
appreciate
hat,
that.
the book, the shirt.
You're a walking billboard.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Thanks. So, so what did you bring? What did you bring today?
So the first thing, just a little shout out to.
Oh, what's that?
This is a new card that we're doing. It reminds me of your T-shirt. It's very
Yeah,
similar.
it's a crew
your,
neck.
crew neck. I should
Yeah.
say. Yeah. So we're doing these Christmas cards here, that are the Detroit Local and City Bird
Christmas
collaborations.
cards.
Yeah,
I
we
love it.
Licensed your artwork. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that one right there.
There we go. Sorry.
Perfect.
Awkward. I brought a few other things here.
Yeah, just
So
start
we
pulling
got
out. Let's see what you got. I want to
bring
pass it
over here.
around and we'll pass it over to Zach. I just want to see
Yeah, I brought a-
people are tough to buy for.
Yeah.
Like people that want to buy me things, like you can go there and buy them, but generally people are now they're not necessarily scrambling, but they want to support small businesses and they
Yeah.
love Detroit brands. And you offer over 200 different Detroit local brands.
right.
So
That's right.
people shopping at your store are not only going to be helping you and the neighborhood and the store, but also over 200 different artisans
Yeah, local.
and artists and local businesses.
And one of the benefits to supporting local makers, I think, is that you can find something that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
You get something really special for under the tree and have a really unique gift for
And
a
stocking
loved one.
stuffers. Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, I brought a selection of some of our other Detroit themed Christmas cards we produce. We produce a line of several hundred goods in house.
Okay.
Some of our most popular Detroit themed goods. So we have like a Supremes and a Stevie Wonder Christmas card.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got a special.
Here, pass some of them over
Here you
here.
go.
Zach, can you cut to that to some of these? Camera 1 or camera 2?
More.
That's the best I can do. That's fine. So we've got a ton of different Christmas cards here. Absolutely. What
Yeah.
else you bring?
Yeah. Well, so
I'm definitely gonna take a couple of those What Up Doe cards. If you get a Christmas card from me,
Here,
know that
I
it came
brought a
from
little-
City
brought a
Bird.
little fun pack just for you, buddy.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Here, hold on.
A little out of focus there, bud.
Whatever. We're a podcast, not a video show.
Yeah.
Even though it's video.
So this is one of our most popular products. We make this in house, and it's one of my favorites. It's our neighborhood glassware. This is hand engraved on an old school wheel engraver. So our engraving partner takes like a real wheel and just spins it on the glass and creates these really elegant grooves.
You said they're neighborhoods?
Yeah, so we have 60 different Detroit neighborhoods. I brought a couple really popular ones, but we have like Black Bottom, we have East English Village, we have Belle Isle, we have Cass
Yeah.
Corridor. So there's a wide variety. So if you remember that your dad grew up in Old Redford and you want to get something really special, I think a custom neighborhood rocks glasses are a
Oh,
good
they would
choice.
love that.
Yeah.
You know, my dad grew up in, I don't even know the name of the name. I don't even think it has a neighborhood name. It's over by Denby High School.
Yeah.
That's like where we first lived. So I got to learn more about that neighborhood.
Yeah. The neighborhood history is pretty fascinating too. And there's a little Easter egg in Detroit's current neighborhood maps where around like 15 years ago, Google scraped some maps to create the current map of Detroit.
Okay.
And they took a neighborhood called Fiskhorn and renamed it Fishcorn. So it's everyone now thinks it's Fishcorn, but it actually was Fiskhorn.
Okay. And where's that? Like where?
That's like the sort of the near northwest side.
Okay. How many neighborhoods are in Detroit?
I think this is hard to define
Named because you're what I would call a preeminent Detroitologist.
Huh.
I do, and that's
I do love the city.
Yeah, you do love the city, and you have a breadth of knowledge that I think surpasses much more than the average person. Like I think I know a bit about the city.
You do.
Yeah, but not a candle to what you do. So okay, so how many neighborhoods do you think are in Detroit?
I think what I was going to say is it's hard to define because you have like official plats that are deeded out and divided. So, you know, Berry subdivision might be an official neighborhood name, but then you have neighborhoods that people just organically name themselves.
Sure.
And try as you might, the government can't always dictate what a neighborhood's called.
Okay, so how many do you think are in the city?
I think probably you could come up with a list of 120.
120. How many are known and recognized names?
I bet like official city names
Yeah.
the city uses probably about 30 or 40.
Holy shit! Really? So there's that much of a difference?
It depends on your definition because like Indian Village is probably an unofficial. It is an officially designated historic district.
Yeah.
So that counts as an official neighborhood.
And I live across the street from Indian Village, and my neighborhood is called the Gold Coast.
Yeah, which
And
is pretty cool.
Is that an actual Detroit neighborhood?
That is like an old school name for that area. Yeah.
Okay, which it's not really that gold. You know, it's when I first read that that was its name, I'm like, I call it like the Near East Side, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny because neighborhoods can take on different connotations over time.
Sure.
Like Indian Village, it was plotted on some like former racetrack grounds, so they named some of the streets after racehorses. Like Seminole, for example, is
I always thought those were
it's indirectly named after tribes, which can be troublesome. But
yeah, especially the name Indian Village.
That's troublesome too.
Yeah.
But but you have to deal with this history and it's complicated. We'll have to reconcile with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're in Woodbridge. How many neighborhoods do you think you can name? How many neighborhoods have you lived in?
Oh God. Well, in Detroit, I've only lived in 3 neighborhoods. I've only lived in 3 homes in Detroit.
Okay.
I lived in the house growing up in Berry Sub. I lived in the Cass Corridor in a little studio and then in a 2-bedroom apartment, which was fun. And then I moved to Woodbridge in 2009.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, for me, nobody asked, but I was in the... Okay, go ahead and ask me.
Yeah, can you tell me what neighborhoods you've lived in?
Dude, I've lived in a couple of them. Some that aren't even named. Like the one until I was 5, we lived on... It's not like East English Village or Morningside, but it's on the other side of 94. Yeah. So I don't know if any of our listeners are familiar with that area, can correct me and tell me what the neighborhood is called.
Like not north enough that it's Osborne.
No, so it would be like, is it Charlevoix that goes? Yeah, so it would be like Charlevoix in 94, but on the other side of 94, further away from East English Village, if that makes sense. Near Denby High School.
That does make sense.
Yeah. So I don't know the name of that one, but then we moved to East English Village, and then we moved to, I guess it would be the Joe Louis District neighborhood.
Yeah,
I guess that's what you would call that little area.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like that's not Rivertown.
We got to rebrand it. So, yeah, Rivertown's way far down. We'll rebrand it. Come on, next time you come back, you'll come back. I'm sure.
I'd love to come back.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me what. We'll have to come up with some new names.
I have a cool like neighborhood map that has a bunch of neighborhoods dubbed in, so which is kind of helpful as
it tells you like what I think actually I have a print that I bought at your store. Yes. Is that the same thing you're talking about?
We produced that with a different Michigan-based designer.
Okay.
Which I think is pretty cool. But all these things, they have debates. Like, where does Woodbridge end? Does it end at Rosa Parks, or does it just keep following Grand River? And I think on that map it follows Grand River. But I think now people would say Woodbridge stops somewhere a little bit west of Rosa Parks, and then you have Core City over there.
Yeah. So then that's another great question for you is Midtown, stay with me here, is Midtown a neighborhood, or is it the Cass Corridor, with Midtown being anything north of the freeway, but like south of Warren?
So
which is a pretty weird question to ask, but you know exactly what I'm saying, right?
I think people discuss this a lot.
Okay.
And I think some people worry about Midtown replacing Cass Corridor, whereas I would say Midtown is a definition for this bigger area.
That's what I would say too.
Which is like downtown. You can downtown's a big area, and that's a name we use, but you also could be going specifically to Capitol Park. Specifically, which is in downtown,
or Campus Martius for the less.
Exactly. Yeah, Capitol Park is just west of Campus Martius.
Yeah, for the less explorative of people. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Which I love Capitol Park, and that is also, I believe, could be wrong, where the boy governor of Michigan, Stevens T. Mason, was buried 3 separate times. Have you heard that one?
Yeah, I knew about 2 of the times.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, they couldn't find him, and then they found him, and they moved him, and it was like a whole thing. So for the people that don't know, Stevens T. Mason was a young governor of Michigan, and he is the reason, I believe, maybe Andy can fill in a little bit more, that we do not have Toledo, but we do have the UP.
That's correct. Yeah, there was a debate at the time, and it was sort of a trade made when the states were formed from territories.
Okay, how old was Stevens T. Mason?
No, I forget the exact age. He was pretty young.
Yeah, so if you're ever in Capitol Park, that's who the statue is of.
And Capitol Park was the seat of the state government at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before it moved to Lansing.
Yeah, and that was a mausoleum or whatever, where the guy was literally buried there. Like, I think it was that they buried him under it, and then they tried to find him and put him. Exhumed. Sorry, they exhumed him, put him in the statue, and then took him out again. Is the way I understand it. Yeah. Poor guy can't catch a break.
Can you imagine if Detroit had the state capitol and the University of Michigan?
Say that again?
It'd be wild if Detroit still had the state capitol within city limits.
Yeah.
And the University of Michigan.
The University of Michigan used to be in the city limits?
Well. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd they move to Ann Arbor?
They needed to expand.
Sure.
And they were granted a bunch of free land.
When did they leave the city?
Shortly after forming. I think it was before 1900.
The ink was drying, basically.
It was before 1900.
I
don't know the exact year. I'm not that big a Wolverine.
Yeah, for sure. Well, don't worry, neither am I, man.
Harsh.
Or at all, whatever. Well, I'm not. I don't know. I'll cheer for U of M, or I didn't go to either U of M or neither U of M
impartial.
nor Michigan State. I did some, and all my friends all laughing when I tell them I did some post grad work at Notre Dame.
Did you really?
Yeah, but it was really just like online. It was definitely online, but it was only online because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I tell people like, oh yeah, it was like I would be going to the campus, but now it's just
you have to specify.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I'm all done with that now.
University of Phoenix over here.
Yeah, that's what I tell people I played college hockey at. They say, where I play college hockey? Where? Yeah. University of Phoenix, man. They have a campus somewhere, I think, maybe.
In theory.
Yeah, in theory, of course they do. So what else did you bring us?
Yeah, I brought you a few more products to show off here. Just brought a couple fun mugs that we've done. I brought a lot of things that we've produced ourselves.
Yeah, what's the website where people can see some of this stuff?
Yeah, you can go to citybirddetroit.com.
Oh, I like that, the white one. Hold that up to your camera again. See if producer Zach, if we can get it right this time.
Yeah, there we go.
The yellow blends in a little bit, but that's all right.
There we go. Yeah, so this one's one of my favorites. It's called Detroit Things, and it's got a lot of great things that make Detroit special.
Legendary sports teams. That's about all legendary now. It's not
yeah,
real.
It's all in the past.
Exactly. What else do we have? Pheasants.
I like the steamy streets. A lot of outsiders are like, what does that mean? What's steamy streets?
Yeah, a lot of people don't get the steamy streets. Are those, is it true that it's basically cracked steam lines because all the buildings are steam heated?
Yeah.
And they're just cracked steam lines underground?
I think it is cracked steam lines, but also there's like release valves.
Sure.
And it shoots out. I don't know the technical details of it, but it's pretty fascinating. And I don't see that in most cities.
No. Well, the first time you see it, it's kind of sketchy, to be honest with you.
Yeah. What is this?
Yeah,
It
exactly.
does give it a good like Gotham City vibe, which I like.
Yeah, my parents and always just called it sewer gas, and so that was like the explanation I grew up with.
Less romantic.
Yeah, well, then what? Broken steam lines that are like
Sounds smellier.
slowly eroding the sewer line. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, a pretty neat thing about like the old sewer lines and water lines and everything. I've got a chunk, and I don't actually know if this is. I mean, I have it now, so whatever. I started. There's I have a piece of the original water line into Detroit. So it's a log.
It's wood.
It's wood. Yeah, it's wood. It's a log like this that has a hole. It's about that big. I don't know, about 4 inches around or so.
Is it corrosion inside that caused it to get so small, or is that the original borehole?
I think it was the original borehole. Yeah. I'll bring it to you. I'd
love to see that. I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's only about that big or whatever, but it's. I had a buddy, my cousin actually, that was working construction doing something, and they dug part of it up and he chopped it up and brought it home. So that was pretty cool.
That's really cool. I wonder how many miles of original wood.
Yeah, it's even still around.
There has to be more. I'm sure there's more.
Definitely. They didn't dig it up and then like dispose. Like they didn't locate it. They just left it there. You
leave it there, and also a lot of it's probably still running. I feel like you don't take it apart unless it's broken. So
you think that we still have wood?
I think we still have a couple. I think.
Really servicing some of the like outer neighborhoods, or well, I have no idea. You're the Detroitologist.
I don't know if anyone's documented this specifically, and I feel like the records of what plumbing was laid when, where.
Yeah, that would be
pretty weak.
Absolutely insane if there were still active water lines that were made out of wood. That would be wild. Yeah, keep pulling stuff out of the magic bag.
A few more goodies here. This one's going to be a little hard to see, but we made this special ornament this year. To kind of.
Oh, that's really cool.
Have a little fun. It's the spirit of Detroit wearing a mask, masking up, being safe.
I love that. How much is that?
That's $10.
I'm definitely going to come buy one of these.
Yeah, those are fun. We like doing. We're a small operation, so we can still be pretty responsive. So we made that art and just produced that last week.
Yeah, I love it, man. Anything else?
Fun. Yeah,
just keep pulling stuff out. Then we'll go into today in Detroit history. And
yeah, so we just produced these recently.
You got a question, producer Zach? What's up?
Yeah, Zach.
Oh,
that's a good.
Shit. Okay. Andy, after running your business for a few years, what traits do you notice that lead one to be a successful business owner or entrepreneur in the city?
Yeah. Well, I think being in the city and being part of the business community, I've met a lot of small business owners.
Sure.
So many. And I'm pretty inspired by many of them. And I feel like to be successful anywhere, but here especially, you need to be driven and pretty scrappy.
Yeah, and resilient.
You're going to get setbacks.
And okay with not making a ton of money for a long time. Yeah.
Most entrepreneurs don't make money for a long time. It took us several years to get Citybird off the ground, and we just kept driving at it. And doing it as a side project and doing day jobs.
Yeah,
that were very flexible,
and then trying to do like a million other things as well. So it's like your day job, Citybird, and then what we haven't even touched on yet is that you also wrote a book.
That's true. Yeah, I brought the book here.
It's called Detroit from Belle Isle to 8 Mile. It was the original and first travel and Detroit guidebook for out of towners and in towners alike.
Yeah. So when we opened Citybird, I've always loved Detroit. I like exploring Detroit and seeing funny little dive bars and exploring and checking out the far corners of the city. And when we opened the store, at first we didn't get a ton of visitors, but we started getting, tourists, like a couple tourists a week. Yeah. And they'd pop in and they'd say like, "Hey, where should I go for an interesting
beer or a pizza?"
Beer, yeah. What's the best pizza? What's the weirdest coney? Yeah. And asking questions. We would just write these handwritten lists with maps. And you'd write lists of like the essential must hits, like you got to go to the DIA, you got to go to the Motown Museum, all this. But then you also write like, if you want a little bit more fun, you should go down to Abix, and it's a really beautiful dive bar. You got to see it.
Yeah, and if you really want to get funky, go down to Tom's Tavern.
Yeah,
which I don't even think it's around anymore.
It's unfortunately closed.
Yeah.
I would love to see it reopen.
Yeah.
You should reopen it as your next project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd come. I love the slanty
Do you want to
shanty.
partner on that too? I'll open a dive
It's
bar on the
beautiful
west side.
place. Oh man,
Is
it's
it?
great. It's not beautiful. It's beautiful. On my bachelor party a night, we took a bus around Detroit and just went to dive bars.
Oh, that sounds
And,
amazing.
yeah. The owner of Tom's Tavern came on the bus and gave me some drunken words of wisdom.
Like,
So-
don't do it.
No, no.
I'm Allison, right? I'm kidding, Allison.
No, I actually don't remember the words of wisdom, but
Okay.
it's Ron who owned the place, and he's a sweet guy. So.
Yeah, that's I mean that's a Detroit staple. So I mean if you haven't
great
ever
spot.
looked up Tom's Tavern, take a few minutes and just Google it.
Unfortunately,
right?
it's just pictures to see.
Yeah,
at
well
this
that's
point.
fine.
Yeah.
That's probably you'll be able to like smell the pictures still through the
They were really famous for being tiny, and it's called the slanty shanty. So all the chairs have uneven legs, so they fit on the slanted floor. Yeah. And they'd have like a lot of like Mardi Gras style music and big parties jammed in,
Like
not
Zydeco
COVID
music?
friendly at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But you'd just be jammed in there, and then Ron would come in and give you like a gold necklace, like a fake gold necklace, and everyone would dance around. It was
Yeah.
a good time.
So you just brought up COVID. What's it been like being a business owner in the city?
This is the most challenging thing we've ever faced
I
with
bet.
with City Bird, and I think for any business owner of any stripe, you have to pivot constantly and innovate and try to balance your crew and team safety and your customer safety and revenue and just kind of juggle all these
Yeah,
different,
make sure that you're staying in
issues.
line with any of the health department
Absolutely.
orders.
And we try to go beyond the health requirements and orders. So we're below the limit that we're allowed.
Yeah.
And we closed originally before we were ordered to close because our staff didn't feel safe. So we closed.
Well, and it's such a compacted, I don't want to say compacted store,
it's a
but
small
it's
store.
yeah.
And that's we're limiting traffic in the store at City Bird to 8 people. And
I saw a line, dude. I went on Saturday or Sunday, and there was a line out the door, and I was like, "Oh man, Andy's doing great." And then I'm like, "Oh wait a minute, they're probably only allowed like 2 people."
Yeah, we're only
from
allowing
the
a few
same
people
house.
in. You have to have plenty of room to distance in the
Yeah.
store. We're really strict about masks. And we have we just got these new counters I'm so excited about. It's like a thermal counter above the door that counts every person in or out. And then we have these cool iPad screens outside that show how many people are inside, when you can go or wait, and how long the wait's going to be.
Oh, wow.
outside. So it's pretty cool. We're bringing that out on the busiest days.
Yeah.
So it really helps people feel like they have the knowledge about what's going on inside
Yeah.
and feel like we're taking it seriously, which we are.
Which you are, absolutely. Now, and back in 2009 when you opened it, 2011?
2009 for City Bird,
pardon me.
11 for Nest.
So, yeah, well, we haven't even touched on Nest. What is Nest?
Yeah, so Nest is the sister store next door to City Bird. And when we opened City Bird originally, we kind of wanted there to be, like I said, we wanted there to be vibrancy and walkability and more connectedness. And it just wasn't
there.
clicking.
Well,
And-
you were the first store, really the first business that opened there that I mean,
there was, so the traffic jam has been there forever.
yeah.
I'm giving them full credit. They've been
For
there
sure,
since
for sure.
68. My dad tells me stories about walking up from Castech and getting ice cream at Traffic Jam.
and Snug.
So it's right there. And Motor City was there.
Motor City, the pizza place.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's right.
Which is actually great pizza. I had a spicy chorizo pizza from there.
Yeah,
It's phenomenal.
They do a great job. They're fantastic. They do have a vented outdoor tent right now. So
Okay.
if anyone is looking for a bit of a restaurant dining experience,
Dude, it's tough because we're like balancing wanting to support local businesses,
Mhm.
but at the same time, a lot of people just don't have the disposable income to go out and support these businesses.
that's right. And also you gotta factor in what you're comfortable with and what feels safe, and understand what businesses are taking it as serious as you want to take it.
yeah.
And I think I've been pretty inspired by the way that Detroit's handled this. I think the city government's
I
done a
think so,
commendable
too.
job, and I think that businesses are taking it pretty serious, and I think that citizens are taking it serious.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because we saw what happened so early on in like February, March, that COVID just ran through and decimated entire areas. I mean,
I think
so
that
many
all of
people
us,
were.
all of us know someone who was touched. touched by this.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, and even from like levels of the city government, people
Mhm.
in state government were getting sick. So we were seeing this.
Yep.
We had a front row for all of it, and then I always shit on Macomb County, always, but it didn't get out into the further suburbs until really now when it's getting into the more rural areas,
Yep.
right? So I think Detroit's had so much lead time to prepare for this second wave, I guess you would call it, that we're in, that everybody knew the precautions that needed to be taken, and that going against what the experts stated simply wasn't an option.
It's
right.
Not. Yeah.
I was reading a story today that there's a franchisee of a Big Boy.
I read that.
Did you see that? And he's like being fined 10 grand to keep this fucking Big Boy open, which small business owner, I'll give him credit. Absolutely. But at what point do you get even like a little bit of self-awareness and say, why am I risking all of this for Big Boy? You know, like
and I feel like it's easy to pin it on government regulation and say it's overreach, but I think that it's not.
Well, it's clearly not a government
overreach issue. It's just your customers are not going to come to your restaurant right now, whether you're open or not. People don't feel safe.
I don't know. I bet Big Boy is packed these days. All you can eat salad bar. I'm trying to shout out Big Boy. If you're looking for a new podcast to sponsor, we'll put your write up on there with a mask on. Anyway, so
as a born and raised Detroiter, I do have a soft spot for Big Boy.
Well, the only Big Boy that
I'm trying to help you get that sponsorship.
Oh yeah, shit. That would have been great. There used to be a Big Boy right at the Belle Isle Bridge there.
There was.
Did you ever go there?
I did go there. My grandparents took me there a few times.
Okay.
Got pancakes.
So you were young, right?
I was young.
I never once went to that Big Boy, and I grew up down here. Never once.
I don't think you're missing much.
No, probably not. You know what else used to be? Used to be the IHOP on Jefferson. Do you remember the IHOP?
Yep.
Do you remember when a car drove through the wall? Yeah, fucking pretty good pancakes. Eh?
A car drove through the wall of Tom's Tavern.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Good callback, buddy. No, for sure. So, I don't know, man. What are you up to for the holidays? Are you a Christmas guy or anything?
I am a Christmas guy. Obviously, in the retail game, holidays are pretty all-consuming.
Yeah, I appreciate you finding time for us.
No, of course. This is great. I wouldn't miss this.
But
it's pretty busy over there.
Would you say it's your favorite holiday? Not
Christmas?
necessarily professionally, but like personally.
I think actually normally Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday.
Yeah, I'm a big Thanksgiving parade guy.
I love the parade. I like the tradition of that. I like sitting around with family and seeing everybody. And I just like, it's kind of low key.
This was the first Thanksgiving parade I've ever missed in my life.
Yeah.
My parents were right there.
Televised, but I didn't catch it.
You didn't see any of it?
No.
It was pretty bad, buddy.
I heard it was unusual because they
listen. And I feel bad because we're all trying to do the best we can, but the Thanksgiving Day parade was, it was somewhere over near Mount Elliott. And
it was a secret location, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it's the location where all the fucking floats are. You can't keep it too secret. But anyway, like it's the visual in my mind, and I apologize if you're listening to this and you were a part of this, but the visual just wasn't up to what I was hoping for. It was a completely like empty field with a gas station.
Yeah.
Like a Sunoco gas station. And that was all you saw. And it was such a sad looking, I don't know, man. Like I was on Woodward Thanksgiving morning and they absolutely could have just done it right there. What about Belle Isle? You know, we use that for a lot of things.
I guess, that would have been a smart way to do it. You could have closed off the bridge and done it.
Just do it over the bridge or just around the first
loop. The danger with Woodward was that leading up to the parade, a lot of people online were saying they're going to go and watch no matter what. Yeah. So even if you barricade it, people will sneak through and watch and you have clusters and then it's a liability, I guess. But I think also one of the things with COVID right now is we look to parades or television as like a form of escape.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you watch a late night show or you see the parade and it seems weird and COVID-y, it just kind of like drags you back to reality. And you're like, oh yeah, we're living through a pandemic.
Really weird time. Yeah. I try to ignore it as much as I can, but it's certainly like when it pierces my bubble, it's
tough. It's a tough time and people are having a rough go.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. I've been fortunate. I've been trying to keep to my routine. And I think that's probably the most important thing people can do is whatever sort of normalcy you can kind of hang on to right now. But yeah, so I love the Thanksgiving Day parade. I just wish it could have been something better. But it's like the Lions games when they're pumping in crowd noise through the TV and there's like shadow people at the bottom. So that something weird is happening, but you're blissfully still. Ignorance is bliss, much with anything, you know, like definitely. So
I haven't seen the Lions game, so they have shadow people.
Yeah, well, they did at least in the beginning. You haven't been watching the Lions, or you probably been working.
I've been working. I'm not a huge pro ball fan.
Yeah, college more.
Yeah, more of a college guy.
Sure. So Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn just got fired.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which was a long time coming. And I'm not even much of a football fan.
Yeah.
But I knew that that's pretty much happened. So I'm more of a hockey Red Wings guy right now.
Yeah, growing up, I was a huge hockey fan.
Yeah.
So
well, it's because we grew up in the golden age,
Yeah, it was great.
96, 97, 97,
it was like the
98.
Yankees of hockey. It was fantastic.
Except, I was going to say, except we didn't do it like that because the first time we won,
that.
but we did do it like that.
I did
in 2002 for sure.
It was exhilarating. Having a team with like Brett Hall and Dominic Hasek on.
Yeah,
that's great.
And Luke Robitaille was there. Datsuk was a rookie.
Just like it was a Hall of Fame team. I mean, the whole team was Hall of Fame. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, all right, man. I don't know. I'm going to hit you with a couple, just like quick. I don't know what I used to call them. Zach, do you remember what I used to call them?
Heavy hitters?
No, heavy hitters. Quick hits. Yeah. Quick. Favorite Christmas song?
Oh boy, favorite Christmas song.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta say, maybe like Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys.
Oh, good one. Mine is, I think it's Stevie Wonder's "What Christmas Means to Me."
That's a great song.
Yeah. So I won that quick.
You
hit.
win.
So, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
I don't know.
I want to change my answer. I want to change my answer real quick.
Yeah.
The Hula Hoop song with Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
Have you ever heard the Christmas song that's made by the band that sings the Monster Mash?
No, but I love the Monster Mash.
It's called Monsters Holiday. And it's just like a rip-off of Monster Mash made by the same sound effects.
Oh, man.
It's great.
I won't be able to play that for the outro tonight, but the next one I record, I'm going to look for that specific song.
So off
Monsters Holiday?
Yeah.
Wonderful. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
I think I like some of the mid 80s comedies, so I'm gonna have to go with like Christmas Vacation. Scrooge was great.
Sure.
I like Christmas Vacation. I like Christmas Story, even though it's getting old at this point.
Yeah. I saw Scrooged at the Redford Theater.
Yeah.
Last year. Yeah, which was a pretty cool experience.
I like anything with Bill Murray.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And then I saw Muppet Christmas Carol is my favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's a classic.
I also saw that at the Redford Theater, which I think it's actually back open now. Or not now. It was. Now it's closed again. Shit.
Dang.
Yeah. Movie theaters. I actually went and saw Tenet while the theaters were open. But phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. You can buy it. It comes out in like the next couple weeks. Sledding or ice skating?
Oh, that's a tough one. Can I say both?
No.
I figure skated for a long time.
Did you really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I wanted to play hockey, and my mom said I had to pass like freestyle 1 in figure skating to earn my place. I had no
idea, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you still skate?
I actually worked at Campus Martius for about a year.
Okay.
When I first moved back to Detroit, I was a rink guard.
Yeah.
It was fun. So I can skate. I don't skate regularly.
Well, we'll have to have you out this year.
Let's see.
We'll go up to Campus for you. Campus Martius is going to be open, or at least I don't know if it's open now, but the ice is in there.
It is funny though. It's like a 37-year-old man getting out on the ice after not skating for a couple of years.
Yeah, like a baby deer on ice.
It's just you have to get your sea legs back. And I remember like I used to do spins and jumps. Like I did that. And
yeah.
there's no way in hell I could.
You're gonna do that now. Yeah.
No way. I would break a hip.
Yeah, definitely. Or sprain something for sure. They open in a week. Campus Martius is supposed to open in a week, which would put us right at December 8th, which would be the end of the 3 weeks.
That was the day that
John
Lennon was shot.
Was December 8th?
1980.
Really? Creepy. I had no idea.
This day in New York history.
Yeah. Well, and we'll get to this day in Detroit history. Any good sledding spots in the city? Because it snowed a ton today.
I think everyone's favorite sledding spot is Baldock Park.
Baldock Park, absolutely. That's where I grew up.
I wish you could sled at Elmwood. That wouldn't be proper.
Oh, I don't even. Yeah, the cemetery.
Yeah,
of
course.
Have
those nice little hills.
Gentle sloping.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Nice natural stops on the stones.
Yeah, I'm sure they're really gonna appreciate you saying that. That's the one on Mount Elliott, right?
Yeah. It's actually a beautiful place.
Yeah, well, it's haunted. It's super haunted too. I think it was the French and Indian War, maybe. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was the War of 1812. One of the two.
The Battle of Bloody Run.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking of. What war was that? 1812. French and Indian?
I think it was French and Indian, but I'm not good at
okay, I'm just testing your American history.
No, it's bad.
And what are you watching on Netflix right now? Anything good?
My wife and I just finished The Queen's Gambit.
Haven't watched it yet.
It's excellent. If you like chess, it's a great show. It's fun. I like that it's a miniseries, so you can.
It's a miniseries about chess.
It's about a chess champion,
Okay.
a young lady in the 50s, an orphan.
Were
And,
women allowed to even play chess back in the 50s? Is that like...
they get into that. She's like
Okay.
one of only one or two women in the different championship games. But it's great. The set pieces are great. The costumes are great. The story's great. If you know chess at all, it's like fun to watch these elaborate moves. And they were designed by Kasparov, the guy who played Deep Blue.
I don't know what that is.
You remember in like the 90s, there was this big international news where IBM built a computer that beat the Russian chess champion.
Yes.
That chess
That's
champion.
Deep Blue?
The Deep Blue is the computer.
Okay.
Kasparov is the chess player.
Ah,
And
I remember that.
He wrote all the chess games for the show.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So he, like his moves are...
Yeah, it's like
Gotcha.
Grandmaster, 10 levels up plays.
Do you have to be educated in Grandmaster?
No,
Okay.
I'm a casual player. I know how to play. I like to play. I suck.
Well, we should play
So,
sometime.
I love to play.
Get your ego boosted up a little bit when you
Thank you.
do the Russian Swansky block or whatever they did.
I know none of it, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
So, yeah, it would, empty out the rest of the bag and
Yeah.
see what else you got, and then we'll make sure
brought
that you get out of
one
here
of
on
our
time.
Popular T-shirts here. It's a Coney Dog tee.
Oh, I've seen that one many
yeah.
times.
So it's pretty fun. It's kind of a classic.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a little tongue in cheek. And then I brought this is not a City Bird brand item, but it's one of our most popular candles this time of year.
Ooh,
It's
what's
the
that kind?
Roland Pine. It's a great natural pine scent. Give it a whiff. That's at Nest.
Oh, dude, that smells great.
That's-
Just made me drop my pen.
It's that good.
Yeah.
Was that a euphemism for something?
Yeah, it means I lost my shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that smells really good, dude.
Yeah.
What is this one called?
It's called Roland Pine.
Roland
It's actually
Pine.
our #1 candle between the two stores, and we only sell it for a month a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we sell more of that candle than any other candle.
It smells great. I'll have
It's
to
great.
stop by and pick
Yeah.
one up.
Yeah.
So, any last words? Where can people learn more about City Bird and Nest?
Yeah, so you go to citybird.detroit.com, and we are online. We now have 4,000 items on our website.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we've added about 2,000 since COVID started. We have
And you brought 10 of them. Thanks for not
I brought a
bringing
couple. Yeah, I brought a few. I should have brought 4,000.
Yeah, sure.
we
Back it
have-
in the bring it in the warehouse back here.
Yeah. So we have curbside pickup as an option for anyone that
Right
would
on.
like to have contactless shopping, or you can come in store. We're open 7 days a week.
What's the address?
We're at 460 West Canfield Street. That's in Detroit, obviously, on Canfield between Cass and Second, right by Traffic Jam and Shinola. And we have 2 stores, City Bird and Nest.
Beautiful, Andy. Man, I would love to have you come back on. We can talk a little City Bird, but I'd really like to dive more into Detroit history.
That would be fun.
Why don't we plan that maybe sometime in like January, come back on. I'll take that book, read through everything, and just any
God.
question, anything
Epic.
that comes up, because I mean, I feel like once guys, not necessarily guys like us, but once people in Detroit start talking about it, they're like, oh yeah, Tom's Tavern. Oh yeah. This place in Hamtramck, and just,
Yeah.
The history that surrounds us that we'd never see. Like, just this last weekend, myself, Jason Hall and Zach, went through the Masonic Temple. I don't know if you saw, we were posting that.
Yeah, I did. I saw the
We got to
photos.
see we're working on a series, Hidden Detroit series that Jason's going to be hosting. And we got to see all like the hidden spots. So I feel like if I can just bounce a couple of these places off you, I bet you have just a whole plethora
Well,
of knowledge.
I always like to learn about more, and you guys have all of you guys have been around Detroit a long time yourselves, so there's more to learn. There's between the two. This is the second edition of Ballots 8 Mile here, and
Where can they get that? Hold that up, because that's actually a really, for Detroiters and non-Detroiters alike,
Yeah.
absolutely check it out.
yeah, there's 1,000 locations from the essential to the obscure, and it's of course it has all the big hits, but it's got like off the beaten path things, lots of history. You've even run through the cemeteries to see where you can see like the graves of famous great Detroiters.
Oh wow!
So if you want to find Coleman Young's grave, it's
in the book.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, that's fantastic. Andy, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll definitely talk again soon.
Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's nice
And
to be here.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And playing out today is Rufio Jones, like a bandit. That's all right. We'll put it in post. Don't even worry about that, bro. Thank you so much for listening. Go check out Citybird. Go check out the DetroitLocal.com. If you want to work together, shout me a holler. Mike at Take Detroit or info at the Detroit Local. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, Mike. You got it. New detergent for my laundry. Saved $100 and my heart is still pounding. I pick a pack of pickles, paid a penny for a pair. I peep some penny loafers, paid a penny for a pair. Oh, joy is double coupon day. On top of that, at 2 a.m. of every day, they restock all the racks. So the world is now my oyster, man. Matter of fact, I bought 2 pounds of oysters, got a quarter back. Notice that. I don't have a care on this earth. I pay exactly what this crap's worth. She paid $300 for that bag. I wear the free shirt that came with a purse. I'm the worst, yes I know, but I save untold amounts of money. If I buy a paper for $1 on Sunday, dummy made out, yeah, like a bandit, yeah, like a bandit. I know you can't handle it. I made out just like a bandit, right? Like a bandit, right? Say that again, please. I made out, yeah, like a bandit, like a bandit. I know you can't stand it, but I made out like a bandit. Like a bandit. Break it down. Look, I'm the cheapest person on the planet. On the planet. On the planet. But I know how to money manage. Money manage. Hey, yo, guess what, chump? My reputation you cannot damage. Cannot damage. Cannot damage. I don't feel bad when I turn cans in. I turn cans in. Because that is 10 cents I didn't have before. Sometimes it feels like I've sinned for sure. Cause I take advantage of steals and deals. 90% off a 5-course meal. Even if my date is embarrassed, she'll feel better at the peak of the Ferris wheel. For real, I will become a freak. Cause I get geeked at the sight of my receipt. Can you dig it? I made out like a bandit. Like a bandit. I know you can't handle it. I made out just like a bandit. Right? Like a bandit. Right? Like a bandit. I made out like a bandit. Like a bandit. I know you can't stand it, but I made out like a bandit. Like a bandit, yeah. When you look at my bill, I know what you feel. Jealousy, envy, hatred, zeal. Now you looking mad while you spreading gray poupon. You should have checked the net, living social or Groupon. And really though, who are you trying to impress? $150 check won't get you under that dress. But if you need a new friend so you don't feel lonely, buy one, get one, limited time only.